What's going on? What's going on? Welcome back to another episode. I'm SwipaCam. Welcome to my channel. If you have not yet had an opportunity to subscribe, hit that subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. We're going to have videos coming out after every game for the Denver Nuggets. Look, if you're a Denver Nuggets fan, you're a Denver Broncos fan, you're an NFL fan, NBA fan, this is the place to be. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the logo button. Look, let's continue to build this family together. So I'm recording this right after the Denver Nuggets have played the New York Knicks on January 10th, 2021. And my initial takeaway from the game is Gary Harris is back. He's back. Gary Harris is hitting three. He was 5 of 8 last night. Today, he was 2 of 4 from three-point line. Gary Harris is cutting to the basket, banging on people. Absolutely banging on people. Gary Harris is playing good basketball right now, really good basketball right now. He's playing consistent defense. He looks healthy. That's the most important thing. Gary looks healthy. Gary looks very healthy. Now, this is what we need to lock in our brain. We need to tell everybody else when they're talking about the Denver Nuggets as well. If Gary Harris is playing well, the Nuggets are unguardable because offensively they don't have a weak link. Because especially when Michael Porter Jr. comes back. But right now, if you have a lineup of Jamal Murray, average over 20 points a game, shooter, if you got Gary Harris playing well, cutting to the basket, dunking, playing defense, and hitting threes, you got Will Barton facilitating, moving the ball around, hitting threes. Paul Millsap is shooting well over 50%, I believe, from three-pointers. Then you got Jokic, who's the best player in the NBA right now. If Gary Harris plays well, look, man, we don't need to make a trade. Now, you want to upgrade that wing position. You know, you don't want that to be Barton, but obviously wait for Porter to get back. But Gary Harris, remember this, y'all. 2017-18 season, Gary Harris is 17.5 points per game, 42% from three, I want to say. And he looked, and I remember Bleacher Report put an article out of the up-and-coming players. And Gary, I want to say he might have been 23, 24 at the time, 23. They were projecting that Gary Harris was the next in line for the Klay Thompson comp, for the Kawhi Leonard comp, because he's offensively sound, but defensively, he's a lockdown perimeter player. So Gary played really well tonight, y'all. That's important. Another takeaway, y'all, this is by far the most complete game that the Denver Nuggets have played, starters and second unit. It was killer today. Killer. The starters played really well. They were up, I want to say, 7 going into the second quarter, and then the second unit came in, and Monte Morris, Facu Campazzo, Isaiah Hartenstein. Then you had JaMychal Green, who made multiple three-pointers again today. Y'all, and PJ Dozier is an all-around basketball player. He looks so fluid. He is a great rebounder. He's a good defender. All PJ, like we talked about last episode, all PJ has to do is play well up here. And he is a very valuable commodity on an NBA basketball team and on a championship winning team because he's like a jack of all trades. He's a 6'6" point guard who can play 1 through 3. So again, to start the year off, he was playing out of position. He was playing the 4 sometimes because JaMychal Green still wasn't healthy, and they didn't really trust Hartenstein. And then on top of that, they were just trying to figure out the lineups. But now when we're playing a more traditional backup lineup, now you have Monte Morris, Facu Campazzo, you have PJ Dozier, you have JaMychal Green, and you have Hartenstein. That's a lethal combination. A lethal combination. That's rebounding, shooting, and you got 2 elite backup point guards. He's playing well, man. But again, I want to give a shout out to Monte Morris because I keep talking about him on this, but we need to keep talking about him. Monte Morris, man. Again, these are championship winning players. 12 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 of 10 from the field, and 2 of 5 from the three-point line. That's 40%, y'all. JaMychal Green, 10 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 4 of 5 from the field, and 2 of 2 from the three-point line. Plus a steal, and Monte Morris had a steal. PJ Dozier had a steal. Facu Campazzo had 2 steals. Hartenstein had a steal. Y'all, if you can just get your backups to, again, play even or play ahead of the other team's backup unit, that's a win. That is a win. That is how you beat teams in the playoffs. That's how you have championship winning teams, when your two best players, Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic, and then you also have Michael Porter Jr.'s, and you have your, Will Bartons and Gary Harris's. When you have them playing well, that's good. But when your second team can come in and defend, and I'm talking about run people off the court, which is what they did. So the reason that this was the best game of the year, and I'll get to the specific game notes, but it's really important we talk about this. The rotations that the Denver Nuggets had tonight were elite. So the reason that the Denver Nuggets have historically been a really good basketball team on the defensive end is when they rotate and they cover all the back sides. So the Nuggets specialize in, they don't want to give up anything easy in the restricted area, and they don't want to give up easy three-pointers. That's what the Nuggets do. They want to make it as hard as possible for you to shoot. So the Nuggets just have had bad luck this year. Their defense hasn't been bad in terms of allowing open shots. It's just that the opponents we played so far this year, to start the year off, have hit a lot of shots that were contested. So again, it was an abnormality. Eventually, it was going to meet the means. So today, they're playing against New York Knicks team, and Julius Randle is a baller. I mean, Julius Randle today, man, was just going off. Julius Randle had 29, 10, and 5. Now, he did play 38 minutes. Jokic only had 22, 10, and 5. But again, he only played 30 minutes today. Like, he really wasn't, we didn't need him out there today like that, especially after the third quarter. But Julius Randle's a baller, man. He's a bull in a china shop. I love his game. He's not the most efficient player, but he's a solid player who what you're going to get from him. And he always gives the Nuggets problems because he's a big physical body who can bang, can shoot the mid-range, shoot the three-pointer, 36% from three. I mean, he's just a good player, good rebounder. He's been a good passer this year. I like his game. But the Denver Nuggets played a complete game today. Their first unit was exceptional. Their backup unit was exceptional. And even today, when the Young Guns came in the game, we got a Bol appearance, Marcus Wheaton appearance, a Kanchar appearance. We had all of our Young Guns coming in, a Zeke Naji. And so the thing is, when you look at this team, we have three levels of players that we can throw at teams. But again, it's just getting everyone on the same page. And again, we talked about this, y'all. We talked about this. The reason the Nuggets were struggling is because they're integrating 7 new players. But what you're noticing is the Nuggets have won, I think, 4 of their last 5 games, 3 straight road games. What you're noticing is that the Nuggets are continuing to figure out how to play with each other, how to play for each other, and how they need to play with this new unit. And it's going to be a problem because what people don't understand about the Nuggets is we don't necessarily need elite defenders to have a great defense. It's because of the way the Nuggets play defense, hard hedges, they rotate on the backside. And here's a new wrinkle they had. So typically in the past, what they've done is that when the opponent has the ball, say they have a double team at the hedge, and then they'll throw the ball into the 5 or the 4, whoever that pick and roll man is, and then they'll be at the top of the key. And at that point this year, up till today, when they got that ball at the top of the key or on the wing, they would swing it down to the corner, and that wide open corner shot would be there. What's happening now is they're adding an extra rotation. So now when the opponent passes it to the corner, whoever is guarding that wing to the strength side, the side the ball just got flinged to, the wing player comes down to the baseline to guard the corner 3, and then either that person has to do a pump fake to the basket. By that time, the backside player has already stepped in, it's in the paint, or the center, which would be Jokic, has already stepped back into the paint. But typically what they'll do is they'll see that shot's not there, they'll try to pass it to the wing, but the way they work the rotation is as soon as that wing defender comes down to the corner tries to kick it out to the wing, but they've already replaced on who was helping on the weak side defense. So they did it today, and it worked to perfection. It worked to perfection. I hope that made sense. I know that was a lot of explaining. I know I didn't give you a visual, but I'm trying to help you understand, like, those little things help you become a better defense because it makes you play with more urgency. But that means you have to be fast. You got to be fast and knowing your exact location where you need to be at all times. And the Nuggets did that tonight. Again, the Nuggets won 114-89, and they played really, really well today. Both sides of the ball, all units played well. Again, highlights, Jokic, again, 22, 10, and 5, 9 of 15 from the field, 1 of 3 from the three-point line, 3 of 3 from the free throw. Take it. That's nothing. This is last year Jokic's numbers. And again, if Jokic is playing now 30 minutes, he played 29 minutes last night, that's good. Save them. Save them. So, we'll talk about the next game after this. But again, he played well. Jamal Murray had 9 points, 3 assists. He only shot the ball 9 times. He was 4-9, 1 of 4 from three-point line. Again, I really think that Jamal Murray, he's been tired the last few games, but I think today Jamal Murray was just more so resting because everyone else was playing really well, and they're getting ready to play the Nets coming up. And so for him, it really looks like he is just allowing the game to come to him. Now, one thing about Jamal Murray that he did that I didn't like today, he did it right the second time. The first time Jamal Murray, the Knicks tried to play a 2-3 zone, and in the 2-3 zone, Jamal Murray had a wide open corner three, but he tried to do a pump fake, dribble, step back, but then he got locked up because the defender just played good defense, and so then he had to pass the ball out. But then the second time this happened, Jokic had the ball in the paint, and he just did a cross-court pass to Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray just, again, already right there, ball was in the perfect place, right in the shooter's pocket, shot it, hit the three. And so Jamal just has to continue to just be aggressive with his shooting. Just be aggressive with your shooting. Because when he does that, more than likely it's going to go in, and more than likely he is going to score a lot of points. It's just a matter of being aggressive consistently. And again, Gary Harris, 14, 3, and 1, and 6 of 10 from the field, 2 of 4, 2 steals, 1 block. Gary Harris is a problem when he's healthy and when he's locked in. And it looks like we have a Gary Harris revival here right now, and I'm excited about it. Will Barton, 22 minutes. He had 5 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 of 7 from the field, 1 of 2 from the three-point line. Free throw line, rather, 0 of 2 from the three-point line. Not a great game, not a really efficient game, but Will Barton, again, he's filling in right now. He still doesn't look like he's fully healthy, but, he's filling in for Porter. In my opinion, when Michael Porter Jr. does come back to play, after – he misses 10 games essentially. He's already missed 6 now, but this at least 4 more. I do think that Porter's going to start because I think they have to really integrate him, especially now that the Nuggets are playing well. They need him to get up to speed with everybody else, and they just have to let him continue to develop because, again, he's the third cog. He is the third piece of that trio of Porter, Jokic, and Murray, and he has to play. Paul Millsap, 10 points, 5 rebounds, 3 of 9 from the field, 2 of 6 from the three-point line, and then 2 of 3 from the free throw line. Y'all, it was just a good game. I don't know what else to say. Excuse me. The Nuggets shot 54% from the field. Great. 43% from the three-point line. 43%. They held the Knicks to 43% from the field and 29% from the three-point line. Contested shots all game. They were 9 of 12 from the free throw line, 75%. Again, that's not great, but that's decent enough. But again, we need to make sure we're improving that. The Nuggets only had 12 turnovers. They only had 23 assists today. They won the rebounding battle, 43 rebounds. They had 8 offensive rebounds, 4 blocks, 11 steals on the day. And Jokic stayed out of foul trouble. He stayed out of foul trouble. We've been in foul trouble with Jokic the last 3 games, and he stayed out of foul trouble today. Only had 1. But again, that's just because Mitchell, who is the Knicks center, athletic freak, he's not the kind of player that gives Jokic foul problems per se. So he was able to safeguard himself today, played well. All right, let me get to the game notes. Man, I love the Flatiron red jerseys on the court. I like watching them contrasted with who they're playing, especially playing the Knicks with the blue today. I really like the way that those jerseys look today. Again, man, Gary Harris, he just started the game off booming, like getting to the basket, cuts to the basket, hitting shots. He just looks really healthy right now. Again, and oh, by the way, the Nuggets employed a 2-3 zone tonight, and it was perfect. Knicks can't shoot really well, and so they wanted to try it out, and it was perfect. Their rotations were crisp. They played great defense. They didn't allow the ball to get to that weak spot at the very top of the key at the free throw line. They didn't give up really any three-pointers in it. They were rotating well. And again, what they were doing is they were just filling and assisting. So every time they had any kind of an error or where there was somebody was out of position, whoever was closest to the ball filled that spot, and they just rotated the zone. And that's really key because when you have Jokic in the middle, he's a great rebounder. And then you got people rallying to the ball on a missed shot. You can do that. And so they played really well, really, really solid defense. I like that 2-3 look. Again, sometimes with this team, Mason Plumlee was famous for this, but Millsap did it today. Millsap got a rebound, And he looked at Jamal Murray, he looked at Jokic, and then he also looked at Gary Harris, and then took it down the court himself and got a turnover because he lost control of the ball. And it's always frustrated me seeing big men, unless you're Jokic and you're a point guard, take the ball down the court, because it's just like, man, just give it up. Now, again, Millsap usually is good with the ball, but today, he just got caught out of position and just turned the ball over, and we just need to continue to work on that. Jokic had a volley pass today. Oh my gosh. Monte Morris missed the layup, but Jokic had a dimer. I'm talking about a bounce pass, full court, basically 3/4 court dimer to Monte Morris to try to get another bucket to end the first quarter, but Monte missed it. But it was a great pass, man. His passing is on another level. Yeah, best half of the season, best game of the season. Monte Morris, best backup point guard in the NBA. By the way, do you know that our boy Monte Morris has a 10-to-1 assist to turnover ratio this year? 10-to-1. That's the best in the league by 3.5 assists. 3.5 assists, man. Monte Morris is it. I'm glad we have him in Denver this year and the next 3 years at least. Hartenstein played well, but that dude won't stop fouling. He had 6 fouls in 12 minutes. Hartenstein, just relax. We need you to play. He played decent, but he just be fouling. Bobo made an appearance today, got a block that counted, 2 blocks that didn't count. And again, man, it's just Bol needs to figure out how to play, and Bol can play that power forward position in the future. He just has to continue to learn how to play basketball, then he can get there. Look, this was the best game of the year. The Denver Nuggets beat the New York Knicks, complete game, 114-89. The New York Knicks were 5-4. They had been winning. They had beaten some good teams. The Nuggets are now 500. Our Nuggets are 500 finally. And so we have the Nets coming up next game. So the Brooklyn Nets are going to be up. I don't know if Kyrie Irving may play. I'm not sure about Kevin Durant. He might be back from the health and safety protocols, but going to be a really good game. It's going to be a really good game. That's going to be on Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern. So look, we're going to be right back. Again, if you want more content, hit that subscribe button. If you like leave comments, talk to me. Tell me what you like, what you saw in the game. If I missed something, point out some things. If you want to talk about some different things, leave comments. Look, this is our channel. Let's continue to build this. I'll be back on Tuesday. I appreciate y'all. It's SwipaCam, and we out.